Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to the channel. What No One Told You. I'm Jessica. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to start with the tarot. Let's see what the heavens are asking you to open up to, how to release what's stuck, and what is urging you, whether it's to speak, decide, or let go of what's weighing you down. Let's look ahead and see what energy you're in. We have the Six of Wands, and under the deck, we have the Knight of Wands as a companion card. Well, this tells us that there is public recognition coming your way. You would like to advance in your job. You would like to know if you're going to receive a reward for what you do and if your talent will be appreciated. There is going to be public recognition, and I can see that you truly deserve it. Why not? I see that you ask yourself many questions, that you need to know if what you're doing is being valued and recognized. Here I see strong movement. It tells me to move forward, but also to take that step carefully. Because when the Knight of Wands appears, it's a fire energy, an energy that moves fast and with great passion. It's like now you're thinking, I'm going on a trip, or maybe I'm going to change my place, or at work, you're saying, I'm doing this now, but I want to talk to my boss so I can be promoted or transferred to another area. Because where I am, I'm no longer comfortable, or there's another company closer to my home and I want to move there. So I see everything happening very fast and very passionately. This fire, however, must be controlled because we need to know exactly where we are going before we go and move with balance because we could burn ourselves out. And if we burn out from going too hard, it will take us time to recover. So don't just stand there looking or waiting. Take that step toward what you want. If you don't move toward what you wish to achieve, whether it's recognition, a conversation, or clarity, and you simply wait for it to be given to you, then nothing happens. You also have to take that step and say, look, I've decided I want to do this or that, and I'm going to talk to my partner, my client, or my boss to tell them that I want my work to be acknowledged. I can see that you need to know what move to make next. We have the Lover's card, and under the deck, we have the Six of Cups as your companion card. The Lovers indicate that there are several options in your work life. So this change you want to make is not because you're going to earn more money. I don't see that you're doing it for material reasons. I simply see that you're doing it because you feel better in one job than in another. And that's what you're weighing, asking yourself, what should I do? What should I do? When the Lovers appear, we always say that if you're not doing it for money, and of course no one works for free, it's because there's a greater purpose. It's something that makes you feel fulfilled, something you enjoy doing, something that doesn't exhaust you, even if you spend hours on it. But in the other job, it feels like it's hard to sustain. You're constantly checking the clock, waiting to go home, while in the one you truly love, time flies. So you're the one who has to see where you feel more comfortable, what your heart is telling you. Reflect. Take stock of what you're doing and what you're connecting with, your work, your project. Look back at what you've been doing until now. But we don't have to stay stuck in a story that's reached a point where things no longer seem to work. Sometimes we plant seeds in barren soil, but that doesn't mean we stop planting altogether. Why? Because that infertile ground has given us lessons. And through that learning and wisdom, we can move forward without carrying heavy baggage from what we've lived, but instead with the eyes of a child, with complete innocence, allowing ourselves to receive new things and learn from them. That's when I see that one day you'll harvest abundance, because you'll be open, not limited by what's happened in your life. The Six of Cups always speaks of the past, so we find ourselves at a crossroads. But if our heart speaks from experience, from what has taught us valuable lessons, then we shouldn't close ourselves off out of fear. That's why you must not make decisions based on fear. Here we have the Knight of Cups, and under the deck, we have the High Priestess. If we have to make a decision, and we're standing at this crossroads, weighing several options, this tells me that there are decisions you need to take in order to move forward. There's a yes here. There's a proposal connected to your passions, something we've already seen. It's not just about what pays you, but about what makes you feel alive. You already have the answers, so dare to open that door, because it's something sincere. You approach it with honesty, because it's something that truly excites you. So why not accept that offer? What does your inner voice say? You can ask everyone for advice, but the best advice is within you. Before signing a contract, before taking that next step, observe, gather information, don't jump off that cliff without looking. Don't just open the door. See what's behind it first, because it's something that excites you deeply. Something has already ended here. We have the Ten of Swords. We accept the end of that road and open ourselves up again. And indeed, with the Star card, we move forward trusting in the universe, believing that our dreams can come true through inspiration. The projects that are driven by passion, the ones you do because you love them, are always more creative or even spiritual. They're much more inspired when you have enthusiasm, when you feel excited, when you're doing something you love, instead of being trapped in a situation that just feels like it is what it is. Maybe you doubt yourself, maybe you think you'll make a mistake, and because of that uncertainty, you feel lost, like you don't have a written guide in your hands. But the truth is, your guide is within you. It's your intuition. What is your intuition telling you? Here we have the Temperance card, and under the deck we have the Nine of Swords. Temperance always brings healing. It reminds you to stay calm, to seek your balance. When you find your inner balance, when you find collaboration or reach an agreement, when everything flows in teamwork, everything becomes beautiful and harmonized in its own time. However, I can see that you overthink a lot, that you tend to anticipate the worst instead of expecting the best. And all of this comes from fear. You worry too much. Fear of losing a job, fear of failure. But if you enter a situation with harmony and patience, everything will balance out. I can see that many opportunities have already come into your life before, and I also see a connection with someone with whom things could flow wonderfully. It might be someone you already know, a contact, a talent from your past, but I see it more as someone you've worked with before, someone with whom you've shared a project, and it's related to work. So if you trust your abilities, if you're patient, and don't get discouraged, things will move forward little by little, but you will gather a lot of abundance. This new path that presents itself is not going to be an easy road or one where everything is already done. It's a path that will require work and dedication. You'll need to invest time and effort, and from there, you'll finally receive what you truly deserve, which is abundance. But as I can see, this situation has happened to you before. You've had the opportunity to make a change, but you didn't do it out of fear of losing what you already had. That comfortable place we could call your comfort zone. And that's a pattern that would be very interesting to break. Maybe in your past, you made a decision that didn't go as you hoped. But just because you made a wrong choice back then doesn't mean you'll always be wrong. That experience gave you learning and wisdom. So now, there's a pattern you must break, and it's especially the fear of losing or of making mistakes. And once again, the card of the past appears, meaning that if you are brave enough to take that step forward, even if you feel fear, if you finally decide to leave behind the past, those ideas, those patterns, those relationships, or anything that no longer nourishes you, then the doors will open for you and success will be assured, as long as your decisions come from the heart. I see again that things will move slowly. Don't expect to arrive and touch the sky immediately. You are the one who must take each step wisely, being practical, reasoning clearly, thinking before acting. When you see that it's time to renew yourself, then renew yourself. If you need to study, learn, or reach mastery in something, then focus only on what you want to achieve and don't stay trapped in something that no longer exists. Use that experience to improve and reconnect with what you're doing now. Yes, you must be clever, but do not deceive yourself, because the truth always comes out sooner or later. If there are hidden plans or things being kept secret, eventually everything will be revealed. Be cautious about deception. When it comes to accepting change, it's like you only need one more little push to finally begin a new chapter, doing something that truly fulfills you. In matters of love, or in personal relationships in general, not necessarily romantic ones, I see someone who feels proud of you and of being with you. If you're single, I see that someone admires you in silence but will soon make it known. That's why we have the Lovers card again, and I see that you have or will soon have a deep connection, but also a great dilemma, two paths before you. What do you do? Do you stay where it feels safe, or do you follow what truly excites you? Do you hold on to the past, or do you look toward the future? Your heart already knows what it wants to hold on to. I see that someone will approach you with clear intentions, inviting you out, perhaps on a date, with the purpose of confessing their feelings for you. You may have a reunion with someone from the past, bringing back memories with great strength, and even messages from an ex-partner may arrive. The coming days will be quite active, but if you look closely, everything happens so that you can bring order and direction to your life, so that you can finally break that pattern of fear and the habit of always expecting the worst. Sometimes what you thought was the worst turns out to be the best thing you could have done. There's a lot of movement coming, but it's all to help you establish balance and allow you to grow. Now let's see what final message the universe has for you, one that will help you have confidence in this new movement forward. Here we have the Death card, and under the deck, the Two of Swords. The message from the universe is very direct and powerful because it comes through the Death card, meaning that a cycle is coming to an end. This could be a professional cycle. Perhaps you're finishing a project, closing a business, or ending something you no longer wish to continue. It could also be that you're dismissed from a job or that a contract ends and isn't renewed. In any case, I see a complete transformation taking place in your work life. With someone in particular, you're also closing a stage. Maybe there's a breakup. Or perhaps it's time to release very toxic dynamics within a relationship. For that reason, I see that a connection either needs to be reborn or must end completely, because before any rebirth, the toxic parts must be released. This could mean a definitive ending or a temporary separation that leads to reconciliation later on, but it's clear that too much toxicity has built up, and it can't continue as it is. A renewal is coming for you. Death always brings rebirth and transformation, so don't be afraid of what has to be left behind, because whatever dies clears the way for something new. With what's new, healing begins. This is a transformation meant to lift you out of stagnation. You have two options, Scorpio, and you must choose without fear. Either stay where you are or take the risk to move forward. The voice guiding you is within. It's your intuition. Remember that not making a decision is also a decision. You know exactly what you need, because look at that image. We cling to something we should release, yet our soul is urging us to move forward. But we hold on out of fear. So feel free. Dare to let life surprise you, accept what comes without guilt, without regret. Flow with the cycles of life. One day we're up, another we're down, and we must learn to maintain balance through it all. When making decisions, always think big and act with strategy, because what you begin to build now is what you will have tomorrow. So ask yourself this: have you stopped to look at what you're building? And is it truly what you want for your future? I'll leave you with that question. Here we have the energies of Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Now I'm going to draw a message from the Oracle for Scorpio. Look at this little card. You deserve sugar, not salt. Someone in your life is treating you badly, and yet you keep trying to see the good in that person, even though they keep disappointing you again and again. There are people who don't deserve you, people who don't deserve a second chance. No matter how hard it seems, this is a clear sign that it's time to end that relationship. Stop following them on social media and block their number. It's time to move on with your life. Inner peace is as valuable as gold, so do whatever it takes to find it. You deserve sugar, not salt. So here's the message. Remember, Scorpio, nothing you go through is by accident. The heavens move, and so do you, and what you choose today opens a new chapter in your story. Scorpio, believe that what's coming is far better than what you've left behind. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon, and thank you for listening and receiving the message.